So dealing with cedar with a chipper like this can be tricky. If you try grinding up fresh cedar, you're going to end up in trouble with it clogging the chipper up really quickly. Now my little 9 horsepower chipper does that kind of thing without any trouble. But we'll see how we do here with the big Woodland Mills chipper. So let's get things started up and warmed up again, and we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. All right, everything sounds good. Well, there's our first clog. I was putting this big one in and it just jammed up too quickly in there. The one thing you want to make sure you do when you're traveling around with this thing going anywhere, make sure you've got the tools to service it. I took the manual out of this, and that's where I keep the wrench for opening it up. So let's pop it open and see what we got. Makes for a good parts cup too. Well, that's not too bad. It's mostly just the exit of the chute that it plugged up. Alright, we'll get this cleaned up and ready to go again. Alright, we're ready to go again. Now, it may just have plugged up because this particular piece is too punky, and you get that it just breaks down into practically mulch, almost like dirt, and it can't throw it out quick enough. So if that's the case, this will probably plug up again, and if it does, then we're just going to throw this one aside. All right, let's get running. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, folks, so there's our first trailer load. We're going to go down and dump that and get it spread. Now, one of the things I like to do, especially when dealing with trees like this, old dead ones that I've either tipped over or I've pulled out of the ground, there's a root ball on them. My suggestion is you cut that off, because you don't know what's inside there. There could be rocks or who knows what else. And of course, it's going to be covered with dirt. So it's not much of a loss. So cut it off, throw it out, burn it, whatever, next time. But my suggestion, as I say, don't run it through your chipper. Okay, let's go get rid of this stuff. Well, I hope you guys have been enjoying today's video, and if you are enjoying it, I'd really appreciate the like, and I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any suggestions, thoughts, anything like that, I'd love to hear from you. All right, let's get back to work. So this is the old version of the Woodland Mills dual axle trailer, the T-Rex. Now I quite like this because it's galvanized. Everything is galvanized on it or powder coated, and I've been using it through some very harsh conditions for a number of years, and this trailer still really works well. All right, guys, there's our first trailer load. Now this just is going to make a huge difference coming back and forth through here with the tractor while it's damp like this, and allow us to continue working on the Corduroy road without turning this into a quagmire as well. But we've got a couple of days coming up that are going to be pretty miserable, so I'm not sure that we're going to get back. We'll have to see what happens. But at any rate, we got a good start. We got a start to the chipping. That really matters a lot, as I say. And then we can continue on with the Corduroy road as well. So we've certainly got lots of work. And as you can see, we've got our cabin's floor all covered up and protected for the winter. So we will get back to work at that as early as we can in the spring. I do want to get over and have a quick visit with Art. That's the gentleman who lost his sawmill to a fire. Not good. We'll see how he's doing. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, and we'll see you in the morning. Well, we've got another batch of poles here to put in place, and I do have a path that goes off up this rather steep little hill. Nothing the tractor will go on, but it is definitely a path I use a lot with the ATV. So I'm going to put a little spur line off to the side here with a number of these poles, just going part way along. That way I'm not flipping these poles up when I come down this trail and come on to the Corduroy road. All right, we'll get a rake, get a little bit of grading done, and get these poles in place. Okay, so I'm just going to put 4 or 5 poles in here because all I need is enough for a lead in onto this part of the Corduroy road. So we'll start with the biggest one here and then put a few smaller ones. All right, we're doing pretty good here. I don't have to go too much farther this way to get past the wet spots, but because I'm making this turn, I've got gaps in here. So I've got bits and pieces of stuff laying around here that I can limb up, use the chainsaw, and we're going to cut spacers to fill in these gaps. Otherwise, these poles could just end up rolling around all over the place. But so far, this looks pretty good. All right, what we're going to do is go get some lunch and then come back with my little DeWalt chainsaw. I tell you, that chainsaw has just been perfect for this job. It's just a 20 volt max DeWalt chainsaw. It's a 12-inch bar on it. It's very light, very easy to handle. Keep the chain really sharp. I sharpen it each day when I go back home. Just take the file to it, and it's working really nicely. So we'll fill in these gaps, and then we've got a little more work to do back where we've been cutting all these trees and cutting up the dead stuff and whatnot for these poles. I got a rock in the way, of course. So we'll put the backhoe back on the tractor and come back down and try to dig that out. Hopefully it's not a monster. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get lunch and get back to work on this. So I'm filling in between any of the gaps in these logs now, and I'm just starting to use up anything that's down, old junk stuff like this that was partly buried, and we're going to add it to the road too. Why not? All right, we're going to keep cutting. All right, folks, we've done pretty good here. We've got our little spur line very neatly going off to the side and up this rather steep ATV trail. We've got our corduroy road part extended out a little farther and filled in down the sides. So we're pretty much as far as I need to be with this, because once we get out to here, we're past the worst of the muddy part. And then we have to go down farther. Let's have a quick look down there. Okay. So yeah, we're looking pretty good here. I've got one little spot here I'm going to clean up with a shovel to get this flowing a bit better. But as you can see, we've got water going through the ditch and out. So we need to start thinking about what we're going to do for a bridge here. I haven't got that figured out yet, but we'll come up with a plan. Look at all this stuff that's down. There's some beautiful cedar and stuff that's crashed in here. What a waste. Well, we do what we can. So we've made some fantastic progress here. I'm really pleased. We got a bunch of wood chips down. We've extended the corduroy road a little bit, so I'm now past this area that gets really muddy. We've got our little spur line going off to the side here, and things are looking pretty reasonable down the trail. We've still got some work to do back there, but I think that's going to be it for today's video, folks. So thanks very much for watching, and if you've got any thoughts, suggestions, anything like that, please let me know. Here comes the snow. So if you've been enjoying these videos, please don't forget to give it a like and share it around. And I'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. That's really helping. It's making a big difference. So remember to be safe out there, be good to each other, and we will see you out on the trails the next time. That snow is a little worrisome. We'll see what happens. So I'm up at Arts. So this is where the old sawmill building was. And he's getting ready for a new building. His new mill will be here in, about 2 weeks' time. And this is all that's left. Holy mackerel. All scrap. All those blades. All right, he's doing good though. He's making progress.